Hi, good morning YouTube. One Knuckle Dan 808 here. This is a product review for the UTG Covert Carry 25-inch bag. Now UTG makes a whole bunch of different bags, so I'm going to specify exactly which bag this is. If you look on Amazon, the product description is UTG Covert Homeland Security Gun Case with dual storage, adjustable shoulder strap, and logo, 25 inches, black. And the model number is PVC-MC25B. So that is the exact bag that we're talking about here. Now, the reason why I'm doing it is there are already a lot of really good reviews on YouTube about these UTG Homeland Security gun cases. But I noticed there's some ambiguity in the product descriptions. This one is described as a 25-inch bag, but it's actually a little bit bigger. So people who are out there trying to decide if this bag is going to work for them might be a little unsure because they're not sure if their gun is going to fit in there. So I'm going to provide some very specific dimensions of the bag so you can decide and answer that very important question: is your rifle going to actually fit in the bag? Okay, so the bag weighs in at exactly 2 pounds. This outer pocket right here measures 21.5 inches wide by 9.5 inches high. After we open it up, it measures about 20.5 inches wide and about 9 inches high. So you lose about a half to 1 inch in each dimension when you go from the outside to the inside. It does have these 3 pockets here. Each one easily holds a 30-round PMag with the dust cover on it. Now you could also take a second PMag if you want and slip it into that pouch, and it will fit. However, with both of the dust covers on, if you try to close it, you'd have to really force the zippers to get it closed, so it's a little tight. But alternatively, what you could do is take that second magazine and put it on the outside of the pouch and underneath this little elastic band to hold a second PMag on the outside. So you could conceivably securely carry 6 30-round PMags in here, and there's space on the side. You've got 2 smaller straps. These straps are not big enough to hold a magazine, but you can put small items in there, such as over here I have a little bottle of oil. A little bit extra space on the bottom. I've got a sling, snap caps, a couple other odd items. But you could conceivably fit up to 10 PMags in here, 6 secured, 6 just kind of loose, and have a little bit of space left over for some small things like snap caps, bottle of oil, and such. So just to give you an idea of the type of volume that you're working with here. Okay, so let's take a look at the outside now, or the larger compartment that holds the rifle. The width is 26.5 inches wide, and it's 12 inches tall. After we open it on the inside, you lose about 1 inch in each dimension. So the inner width is 25.5 inches, and the height is about 11 inches. And let's take a look at the length of this rifle. This is a Patriot Ordnance Factory 415. The barrel is 14.5 inches long, measured from the bolt face to the crown. But the legal length of this barrel is actually 16 inches because the muzzle brake is pinned and welded into place. But of course the real dimension that we're interested in is the overall length. So the overall length of this upper, from the front of the muzzle brake to the aft end of the forward assist, is 23 15/16 of an inch. So it's just a hair under 24 inches. And when I have it here, I have about 3/4 of an inch of extra space on either side. So you could conceivably fit an upper in here that's 25 1/4, maybe 25.5 inches at the absolute maximum. Be aware though that if you have a rifle in here that has is really wide on one end, there aren't any walls on the side of this bag. So when you fold it over and you try to bring those zippers together, they'll kind of they'll sandwich together sort of like a taco does, and you might lose a little bit of width in there. So you won't lose any width on probably on the muzzle side, but you might lose a little bit on the aft side. Now, also you can see how my lower fits in here, and I've got about a ½ inch of extra space above the top of that lower receiver there. Now, if you know anything about Patriot Ordnance Factory rifles, their uppers tend to be about ½ inch higher than a standard AR, and on this pistol grip, this is a Hogue overmolded grip with storage in it. It's about ½ inch longer than a standard grip, but as you can see, even with the added height of the upper and with the longer length of that pistol grip, when I have the lower placed right on top of the upper, it still fits with about ½ inch of extra space on the top. Now, there was a reviewer on Amazon who said that he had a 16-inch AR upper that would not fit in here. It was kind of poking out the side of the zipper. I suspect that he may have had a barrel that was 16 inches with an additional muzzle device on the end, making it a little bit too long. So again, when if you're trying to decide if your rifle is going to fit in here or not, don't look at the barrel length, but just measure the overall length of the upper receiver. Okay, and just to demonstrate that this does actually fit nicely, as I get the zipper closed on this thing, I can fit about a full thumb in between the inside of the zipper and the rifle. So you actually do have enough space to have a weapon that's a little bit longer fit in here. And as you can see, I can easily close this without having to force the zippers. So it does hold it in there really nice. So that's pretty much the overall purpose of the video. Give you some very, very specific dimensions to determine whether or not your AR or your rifle, whether it be an AR upper or an AK-47 or something else, let you determine whether or not it's going to fit. So I'm going to continue on now and kind of give my other impressions of the bag and overall opinion. So I'm really happy that this comes with 6 of these Velcro straps. A lot of other bags out there only give you 4 straps, some even just 2, but this one gives you 6. So I can use 3 of them to securely hold my upper in place so that it won't slide up or down or laterally. I've got 2 for my lower and then 1 for my bipod. Now you've probably seen this in other reviews already about the straps here. They've got 8 of these little loops in there. There's Velcro on the bottom, so if you want to adjust your strap, it's easy to loosen up your strap and slide it sideways to get it in just the right spot that you want it, and then press down on the Velcro, and then it won't move if you put a little bit of force on it. The padding that's in here has held up pretty well. I've had it for a few months, and I don't see any holes developing in the padding at all, so it's doing a pretty good job. Now, as far as discreetness, well, this bag is actually titled the Covert series. I wouldn't really consider this a covert bag. I think it's something as covert as something that is disguised as something else, but I certainly would call it discreet. I think that black is probably one of the best discreet colors out there. It's sort of the default color for everything. Handbags, purses, musical instruments, tool bags, they all use black. So it doesn't necessarily bring a lot of attention. And you'll notice on the front side and on the back, there are no magazine pouches, there are no MOLLE straps, so it doesn't have that tactical look to it. So if you're like me and you're just concerned with carrying the rifle from your house to a car without a member of the general public, neighbors and such, being able to immediately recognize it as a rifle case, then it does its job. Now as far as the quality, it's held up pretty well so far. I don't know if this is like a Cordura nylon or anything like that, but it's held up decently so far. The zippers, I haven't had any trouble with. They are not YKK zippers, and they don't have the little loops in them for you to lock them, so you couldn't carry this through an airport. And I would imagine if you were a professional and you were carrying the rifle all the time on the road, going to and from the range every day, it might not hold up under the wear and tear that you'd be putting on it. But if you're like me and you go like once or twice a month to the range and you just carry it from your house to the car, it would probably hold up just fine. So that's it for the review. I hope you found it informative. Thank you and aloha.